He had four dreams for India: a steel company, a world-class hotel, a great university, and electricity for every home. He died before any of them were built. His name was Jamsetji Tata. Born into a family of Parsi priests in Navsari, Gujarat, he was never supposed to be a businessman. He broke that tradition. At 29 years old, with 21,000 rupees in capital, he started a trading company in Bombay. The year was 1868. India was under British rule, and one Parsi man had decided to change that. He started with cotton. He bought a bankrupt oil mill in Bombay, converted it to a cotton mill, sold it for a profit, then built a bigger one in Nagpur, the Empress Mills, named after Queen Victoria herself. The British scorned him for going to Nagpur. Everyone said cotton belonged in Bombay. Jamsetji went to Nagpur anyway and made it work. In 1892, he established the J.N. Tata Endowment to send Indian students abroad for higher education, at a time when India had almost no world-class institutions. Then, in 1898, Jamsetji pledged nearly half his personal wealth to build a research institute in Bangalore. Lord Curzon, the British Viceroy, resisted it. Jamsetji pushed anyway. He died before it was built. His sons completed it in 1909. Today, it is the Indian Institute of Science, one of India's greatest universities. Then the hotel, the Taj Mahal Hotel. December 16th, 1903, Bombay's waterfront. The first hotel in British India with electricity, with American fans and English butlers. Built by an Indian, for Indians and the world. There is a story about why Jamsetji built it, that he was refused entry to a British hotel in Bombay because Indians were not welcome, and he decided to build the finest hotel India had ever seen. The Taj Mahal Hotel opened in 1903, and it changed what India believed was possible. In 1904, Jamsetji died in Bad Nauheim, Germany. He was 65 years old. His four dreams were still unfinished. The steel company, not built. The hydroelectric plant, not built. The research institute, not built. Only the hotel stood complete. His sons, Sir Dorabji and Sir Ratanji, inherited an empire of ambition and a responsibility to finish what their father had started. In 1907, Tata Iron and Steel Company was founded, in a remote jungle clearing called Sakchi, a place no one else wanted. So Dorabji built a hospital there before the first ingot was ever rolled out. In 1910, Tata Power was born. Jamsetji's dream of electricity for India finally complete. In 1929, a 24-year-old J.R.D. Tata received the first pilot's license ever issued in India. In 1932, he flew the first commercial flight on the subcontinent, from Karachi to Mumbai. Tata Airlines was born. It would later become Air India. J.R.D. Tata became chairman in 1938. He was 34 years old. He would run the Tata Group for over 50 years, longer than almost any leader of any major company in history. By 1939, Tata Steel was the largest steel plant in the entire British Empire. Under JRD, Tata entered chemicals, pharmaceuticals, automobiles, electronics, software. By the time JRD stepped down in 1991, Tata had grown from a handful of companies into India's most respected conglomerate. India's first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru, once called Jamsetji Tata a one-man planning committee. The man who took over from JRD was reluctant. He had been passed over before. He almost didn't get the job. His name was Ratan Tata, and what he did next changed not just the Tata Group, but how the world saw India. What made JRD different from other industrialists was not just ambition, it was conscience. Under JRD, Tata Steel became the first company in India to introduce an 8-hour working day, provident funds, maternity benefits, free medical care for workers, decades before Indian law required any of it. Jamsetji had started this tradition at Empress Mills in the 1880s. JRD carried it forward into every Tata company. This is why Tata was different. Not just bigger, different. A company that believed that how you treat your people determines what kind of company you become. That belief, built over 70 years by Jamsetji and JRD, was the foundation Ratan Tata inherited in 1991. When Ratan Tata became chairman of Tata Sons in 1991, he inherited a sprawling empire with one serious problem. It had no direction. Different Tata companies operated like separate kingdoms. Tata Steel did what it wanted. Tata Motors did what it wanted. Nobody answered to a central vision. Ratan Tata changed that. Slowly, quietly, and with great resistance. Some of India's most powerful business families held stakes in Tata companies and did not want to be told what to do. Ratan Tata had them removed, one by one. It took years. It was not gentle. But when it was done, the Tata Group had a single vision for the first time in decades. Then, in 1998, Tata Motors launched the Indica, India's first indigenously designed passenger car, built entirely by Indians. It struggled. Sales were disappointing. Ratan Tata considered selling the passenger car division. He flew to Detroit to meet Ford Motors. Ford's executives looked at the Indica, looked at Tata's team, and said, "You don't know anything about cars. Why did you even start a passenger car division?" Ratan Tata sat quietly. His team returned to India humiliated. He did not sell the division. 9 years later, Ford was in financial crisis. Ford needed to sell its two most prized brands, Jaguar and Land Rover. Ratan Tata called Ford and bought both for $2.3 billion. Cash, debt-free. Ford's own chairman, Bill Ford, said at the signing, "You are doing us a big favor by buying JLR." The same company that told Tata he knew nothing about cars was now thanking him for saving their most iconic brands. Under Tata's ownership, JLR's sales went from £9.87 billion in 2011 to over £25 billion by 2018. The brands that Ford could not make profitable, Tata turned around completely. But Ratan Tata was not finished. 2 years earlier, in 2000, Tata Tea had already acquired Tetley, the British tea brand, for $450 million, an Indian company buying a British institution, the world's second largest tea manufacturer, now Indian-owned. And in 2007, Tata Steel acquired Chorus, the Anglo-Dutch steel giant, for over $11 billion. Chorus was 4 times the size of Tata Steel at the time. After the acquisition, Tata Steel went from 56th in the world to 5th in the world. In 2008, Ratan Tata launched the Nano, the world's most affordable car. 1 lakh rupees, safe transport for every Indian family. The ambition was extraordinary. The execution was imperfect. But the intent to make mobility accessible to every Indian was pure Jamsetji. Ratan Tata stepped down as chairman in 2012, after 21 years. Under his leadership, Tata Group revenues grew from under $5 billion to over $100 billion. From an Indian conglomerate to a global empire. Today, the Tata Group has 30 companies across 100 countries. 6 Tata companies are a Nifty 50. Combined market cap over $365 billion. TCS alone, listed in 2004, has returned over 3,400% to its investors. On October 9, 2024, Ratan Tata passed away. He was 86. India stopped, not because he was the richest,
not because his company was the biggest, but because he was trusted. In a country where trust in business is rare, Ratan Tata was the exception that proved the rule. So what does the Tata story tell us as investors? 3 things. First, legacy compounds. Jamsetji died in 1904 with 4 unfinished dreams. Those dreams became India's greatest conglomerate over the next 120 years. The best businesses are built over generations, not quarters. Second, humiliation is fuel. Ford told Ratan Tata he knew nothing about cars. He bought their most prized brands. The investors who backed Tata Motors after the Indica struggles made fortunes. The darkest moments are often the best entry points. Third, trust is the ultimate moat. Tata Salt, Tata Tea, Taj Hotels. Every Indian trusts these names without thinking. That trust was built over 150 years and cannot be replicated overnight. Companies with genuine trust compound differently from companies with just revenue. Not financial advice. Always do your own research before investing. From 21,000 rupees in 1868 to $365 billion today, one Parsi man, 4 dreams, 156 years. This was the Tata story.